So you've been in an accident, and it's your fault.
Uh-oh.
But you tell yourself, I have full coverage. You know, if I had $1 every time I heard someone say that, I wouldn't be here shooting videos. Through the process, you quickly realize that full coverage is not what you thought it meant. Let me give you an example. The person that you hit has significant medical expenses. They're out of work for an extended period of time. And you realize that the policy that you purchased does not cover their losses. And the court awards this person, let's say $100,000. And in your case, your policy only provided coverage of $15,000, which is the state minimum requirement. And so the victim in this accident is out of $85,000. So the victim's going to come after you personally to recover the $85,000. Most of us don't have $85,000 lying around. So what happens, the victim will go after your paycheck, property, to satisfy that amount. So what we want to avoid here is not having enough insurance to cover the losses that a victim has from an accident you caused. Because you really don't want to be saddled with that debt. And it could be a lot of debt. So now you know why having not enough insurance is a problem. So the next step is to find out what you actually have. And how do you go about doing that? Well, you will have what we call a deck page within your policy that's mailed to you. And that will outline all the coverages you have that protect you in an event you cause an accident. You know, I know a lot of us maybe go look in our glove box and try to find our insurance policy. Typically, those cards do not contain your coverage limits. So once you have found your declarations page, if you look down on the page, there'll be a section called liability. Again, this is coverage that protects you in the event that you cause an accident. You'll see that there's 3 numbers. Let's say you have the state minimum requirement, which is what we call 153025. The first number is 15,000, which means that that's the most that one victim can get from your policy in its entirety. Let's say, for instance, you cause an accident and there are multiple parties in that accident. Well, the most that they can get total from your policy would be $30,000. So if you had 3 people injured in an accident, let's assume they all had the same injuries, the most they could get would be $10,000 each, which would total $30,000. So the last number is the property damage limit. In Louisiana, the minimum amount that you're required to have is $25,000. Let's say you rear-end someone. So the most that your insurance company would pay to that victim for their property damage losses would be $25,000. And just imagine, we all know the cost of cars, you know, today. There's nothing inexpensive anymore. $25,000 is not going to get you very far. Again, 15, 30, 25, those numbers are the state minimum requirements in Louisiana, which a lot of people assume is full coverage. So, in summary, are you really covered? And if you don't feel comfortable with the coverage that you have, certainly contact your insurance company, your insurance agent to increase those limits. And if you have any questions, certainly feel free to reach out to me and I can walk you through this process. I'm Blaze Zena with Murphy's Law and Dunn. Just remember, just because it can go wrong doesn't mean it has to.